Faculty, Professor Maitri Sir, Vice Principal of Arts Faculty, Professor Purohit Ma'am, Vice Principal of Commerce Faculty, as well as the convener of today's webinar, principals and all the faculties of autonomous colleges who have joined for this national webinar on curriculum enrichment strategies organized by IQAC Sangameshwar College, Solapur. I am Arjun Chaudhary, a member of IQAC on behalf of Sangameshwar College and Shri Sangmeshwar Education Society. Welcome you all to this national webinar. One of the marvelous things about community is that it enables us to welcome and help people in a way we couldn't as individuals. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a warm welcome to all of you.
So let us begin the program by worshipping Devi Saraswati with Saraswati Stavan.
Jaya 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 He Bhagavati Surya Bharati Tava Charanau Pranamamaha Jaya Jaya He Bhagavati Surya Bharati Tava Charanau Pranamamaha Nad Brahmamai Jaya Vageshwari Nad Brahmamai Jaya Vageshwari Sharanante Gacchamaha Jaya Jaya He Bhagavati Surya Bharati Tava Charanau Pranamamaha Lalita Kalamai Jnana Vibhamai Lalita Kalamai Jnana Vibhamai Veena Pustakadharini Veena Pustakadharini Matirasthanau Tava Padakamale Matirasthanau Tava Padakamale Aikuntha Vishaharini Jaya Jaya He Bhagavati Surya Bharati Tava Charanau Pranamamaha Tvamasi Sharanya Tribhuvanadhanya Tvamasi Sharanya Tribhuvanadhanya Vandita Sura Muni Charana Vandita Sura Muni Charana Navarasa Madhura Kavita Mukhara Navarasa Madhura Kavita Mukhara Smita Ruchi Ruchira Bharana Jaya Jaya He Bhagavati Surya Bharati Tava Charanau Pranamamaha Jaya Jaya He Bhagavati Surya Bharati Tava Charanau Pranamamaha Nad Brahmamai Jaya Vageshwari Nad Brahmamai Jaya Vageshwari Sharanante Gacchamaha Jaya Jaya He Bhagavati Surya Bharati Tava Charanau Pranamamaha 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 Pranamamaha.
At the outset, let me thank respected principal of RA Podar College, Dr. Shobana Vasudevan ma'am, for accepting our invitation and joining with us for this national webinar. Welcome can be done in many ways. Every individual has his own choice and preferences, but personally I believe a smile is the universal welcome. So to begin with, let me proudly introduce our institute, which is a service-oriented institution. Sri Sangameshwar Education Society, the Sangameshwar College, Solapur, affiliated to Punyashlok Ahilya Devi Holkar, Solapur University, was established in the year June 1953 by two Karma Yogis, late Sri Nagappa Kadadi and late Sri Madeppa Kadadi, and further strengthened by late Sri Meghraj Kadadi. Our institution is standing splendid and serene, bearing around 6 decades of testimony to higher education with its mission statement to spread education in general and instruct in any branch of knowledge whenever and wherever feasible. Sangameshwar has progressively proved a leader in higher education, striving continuously to attain excellence under the able guidance of Honorable Chairperson Srimati Hemlata Kadadi and Honorable Secretary Sahib Sri Dharmaraj Kadadi. Our enthusiastic principal Dr. Rajmanya Madam, the IQAC, and the self-motivated staff are taking the institute towards higher goals and broader horizons. Our principal promotes the involvement of teaching and learning, improvement of teaching and learning, and strives to create an organization or climate which fosters students and teachers' growth. Sangameshwar has distinguished itself by preserving its heritage and is simultaneously forging ahead with times. We are fully responsive to the local and regional needs and are aware of our contribution not only to the university level education but also to the social and economic development of the region. As it is rightly said, leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Leadership is not about titles, positions, or authorities. It is all about impact, influence, and inspiration. Our Honorable Secretary, with his efforts, has given a certain sense of energy and positivity to the Institute. He is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Under his dynamic leadership, our college has been awarded autonomous status by UGC from the academic year 2020-21 with an aim to introduce innovative and modern curricula, insisting academic discipline, imparting holistic education, and adoption of higher education practices with the support of creative and dedicated staff. And I must emphasize that it is the first autonomous college in Solapur city. Our college ensures the overall development of students while enshrining traditional Indian values in each of its students. Sangmeshwar has always made substantial and incomparable contribution to the society in terms of producing good citizens, research scholars, entrepreneurs, intellectuals, and sports persons who have served different domains. Being a teacher of an autonomous college, it definitely brings us the pride, but it also makes responsibilities follow us. So to build a concrete autonomy, which will indeed serve the society at large, curriculum enrichment strategies are must. Once again, I welcome each and everyone to this national webinar. Now I would request our Vice Principal Maitri Sir for welcome address and to introduce today's webinar. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any academic institution functioning successfully needs vision statement, programs, curriculum, infrastructure to carry out, teaching tools, co-curricular and extracurricular activities. These are the criteria being tested during the accreditation or overall academic health of the institution. Regular updation is essential. Since attaining autonomy, we have kept ourselves on the learning mode. We have started a series of lectures to enrich our quality concepts. Under this strengthening of quality concepts, we want to learn what exactly there is a difference between syllabus and the curriculum. If there is a difference, who makes the curriculum and who makes the syllabus? If it is there, then how it is to be implemented effectively? We want to know the strategies. along with our own knowledge, we want to share this opportunity with other institutions too. Because often we are confused with curriculum and syllabus, and we are supposed to implement it. We are supposed to reproduce it in our reports. That is why, under the series of lectures to strengthen the quality concepts, ma'am, we want to learn from you what should be done to make this curriculum reach students with different activities so that it can be strategically implemented, so that the students will be satisfied to answer satisfactorily in their satisfaction survey. In addition to that, we want to make the complete system qualitative. So we are eager to listen to you about these things. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your welcome address. Now I request Dr. Gawande madam to introduce our today's eminent resource person.
Thank you, Chaudhary sir. A very pleasant evening to Honorable Resource Person, Dr. Mrs. Shobana Vasudevan, Honorable Management Council Member, J.P. Kadadi Madam, respected Principal, Dr. Shobha Rajmanya Madam, respected IQCC Coordinator, Dr. R.V. Desai sir, respected Vice Principal of all streams, HODs of various departments, respected principals and faculties from various autonomous colleges. I am feeling ecstatic to introduce our today's proficient personality in the sphere of education, none other than Dr. Mrs. Shobana Vasudevan, Principal, R.A. Podar College of Commerce and Economics, Mumbai. Dr. Mrs. Shobana Vasudevan is well-known hardcore educationist. She has been associated with R.A. Podar College since 1985 as a successful lecturer, reader, associate professor, NSS program officer, vice principal, chairman of board of examinations, etc. She honored the chair as the beloved principal of Podar College since 2009, glittering the NAC accreditation crown of college with highest grades for all the 3 cycles. She has many publications to recount in many reputed journals. She has been awarded an India Research Excellence Award by University of Santiago de Compostela, Spain. She was invited to deliver lecture at universities abroad, including University of Wisconsin, USA. She has been coordinating and conducting refresher courses, research coursework, and research methodology workshops on regular basis under the opportune of UGC, MHRD, ICSSR, WIRC, RUSA, and other funding agencies. She has been associated with NAC as a member of the committee for revising NAC guidelines and also a member in devising the guidelines for IQAC. She is the editor of the International Interdisciplinary Journal, Research Journal, Podar Prabodhan, published by R.A. Podar College, which has been tagged by J-Gate. She was invited to deliver her views on higher education, finance, capital market, research methodology, etc. on regular basis. She is the recognized PhD guide in commerce of Mumbai University, guiding PhD research scholars. She is a member of Mahila Dakshata Committee of Mumbai Police, which works for the betterment of women and children. The list of achievements is long enough. Due to time constraint, I have mentioned quite a few. Now, I know our years are getting long enough, very eager to enrich ourselves with the enriched knowledge, experience, and expertise of our resource madam to know and implement curriculum enrichment strategies. Thank you all, and over to you, Chaudhary sir.
Thank you, Gawande ma'am, for a wonderful introduction of madam. Now let's get straight into the reason for which we have gathered here. I request Principal Dr. Shobana Vasudevan ma'am to guide us on curriculum enrichment strategies. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Shubhangi and Arjun Chaudhary, and the way that you have begun the entire session. And I think Shubhangi has made the word enrichment repeated several times so that we remain enriched already before we are going to go into the session related to curriculum enrichment. Thanks, sir. When you set the thought process rolling by observing the needed, much needed distinction between curriculum and syllabus. That is the catch point which the Vice Principal, sir, properly pointed out, very appropriately brought into the today's discussion fold, that we teachers many times confuse whether it is curriculum or syllabus and curriculum are synonyms or one equivalent to another. Normally, when we talk about curriculum, so many things that comes in your mind, including our CV, curriculum vitae. We always prepare our CV and we all know what exactly goes into the CV. And when you are going to talk about curriculum enrichment, it is nothing but revising the curriculum vitae of our own institutions. Let us just go step by step. My entire presentation today is going to be divided into 3 parts. The first part, probably I would like to know where we are in the platform today. How are we connected to each other? Are we thinking the similar way in the minds of all the teaching community personnel sitting and participating in this seminar? Once we are going to get about our own connect and our own way of looking at things related to curriculum, curriculum delivery, syllabus, and the difference between curriculum and syllabus, I will go into the second part of my presentation about what do we mean by curriculum enrichment and why do we need it. After a brief talk about it, the third and the most crucial component of my presentation would be the curriculum enrichment strategies. Let me tell you as a disclaimer that I am not going to be here to tell anything new. If you are all going to think that I have joined all the way from Bombay, Mumbai, in this webinar to tell something you don't know, please remove that from your mind. We all know, we teachers know what our students want. We all know what the society is going to be expecting from our own graduates. We are not that myopic to not to understand the community and society's expectations from the students, from the generation which we are creating and we are molding. All of us sitting over here are aware of it. I definitely certain about it. Then you will say, why this Purohit madam brought madam you all the way from Mumbai? Maybe we are going to exchange our ideas. Maybe I am going to present my thought process. Maybe it will be a reinforcement of what you have already got in your mind so that you can understand, chalo, I am not thinking anything wrong. Like me, even Shobana madam also thinks. So I also can think about it in a better manner and can implement it in a better manner. So that is going to be the purpose of my presentation today. It's nothing that I'm going to bring new. Probably you can give me something new when we are going to wind up the session after we complete the presentation, the 3 parts of my presentation. Kindly allow me to share my screen.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Yeah. So actually the title I wanted you all to see, because it is not curriculum enrichment strategies. The efforts of Sangameshwar College, which is definitely a 70-year-old institution. Maybe you are going to become 70 1 or 2 years from now, maybe the next academic year, the 70th Jubilee celebration you will have. At Sangameshwar College, the management and faculty want to know the accreditation concept. When our Vice Principal sir told about the NAC concepts, NAC criteria, when you prepare the SSR, there is definitely some kind of a confusion when we are going to fill up those details as expected by NAT. One of the very important confusion is curriculum and syllabus. When you go to student progression, one more confusion comes. When you go to teaching, learning and evaluation, another confusion comes. Whether are we trying to do curricular, extracurricular, co-curricular? What exactly is going to be the link between all the three? Are we doing justice? So जो steering committee में बैठा है, उसको इतना confusion होना शुरू होता है तेवा. That is why they have given a title, Strengthening the Accreditation Concepts in Higher Education Institution. And one of it is curriculum enrichment. Because we don't know whether it is enlargement is equal to enrichment. Is it going to be modifying is equal to enrichment? Is it copying is equal to enrichment? This confusion probably we will try to reduce at the end of the session, which I am going to engage you all from now on. Of course, it is my pleasure and privilege to thank and acknowledge my parents and teachers and well-wishers who have made this day possible for me amidst this COVID-19 calamity. IQAC of Sangameshwar College, I thank for giving me this opportunity, and Shikshana Prasarak Mandali Pune for giving permission to take up this, and all my colleagues at Podar College who gave me the knowledge which I am going to share with you, and of course, the audience who have assembled over this virtual platform. My dear participants, after the end of say an hour or so, 40 minutes or 45 minutes, whatever it is, once you are going to walk out of this virtual platform, I may expect you to have this particular outcome. Maybe you should understand the importance of designing a curriculum in an higher educational institution like us, and also appreciate the need for reviewing the curriculum from time to time. Maybe you should understand our curriculum is not going to be standalone. It must match from the division or revision that is going to start from your KG, kindergarten, nursery, first standard onwards. It's a sequence. Our educational environment is not going to be in bits and pieces. A child is going to start a formal education process, crosses a period of 10 years, and they are going to come to us. Maybe when the 12th year of their educational academic career, or maybe at the age of 16, since they have taken birth, or 18, if we are going to talk about an undergraduate student, or 20, if we are going to address them as a postgraduate student. The point is, we sitting over here should understand there is a sequence. We cannot think of curricular enrichment independently in an isolated way unless we are going to stay connected with the sequence of various steps that our generation of students are going to come through before and after that they are going to reach you in your own college campus or classroom where you are going to be a faculty or mentor or a teacher. Of course, the fourth one, the outcome which I expect from you is that you have to understand how the curriculum enrichment could be done and what the strategies and how it could be formulated. Last but not the least, maybe that is the singular objective and the expected outcome from each one of you is that you must be able to make a curriculum not only for your subject, maybe for your department, enrich it at your college level, but you must know that it cannot be done without understanding the situational factor, without understanding the environmental factors. There is no one jacket formula. Shobana Vasudevan from Podar College cannot give you, look, this is going to be a curriculum enrichment strategy. आप इसमें डांस करो, उसमें आपको colleges को fit कर दो, and your coat and outside garment is ready. It is not like that. Sangameshwar College का situation अलग है, Podar College का situation अलग है, XYZ College in Karnataka may be different, and PQR College in Delhi will be different, and there may be one small college in the corner of UP, and there may be one great college that is going to be there in the city of Chennai. So situational and environmental factor naturally play a key role. So enrichment is not an equation, nor is it going to be a straight jacket that can be readily worn, and it is definitely not a ready-made garment which is available for a price and we buy and take it. It is you who have to design it, who have to plan it, who have to implement it by considering the various environmental and situational factors. That is an expected outcome. I will be happy if you take out and take away after completing the attending of this webinar. Now let's talk about the one important thing I would like to do. A small test. All the participants sitting over here, if you are comfortable, you can pull out a paper and a pen, or you have got the ability to keep your mental scores also. I'm going to give a quick test for all of you. Curriculum is nothing but the aggregation of large subject matter divided into modules by a group of experts. This particular let us check slide is given by me to understand whether you and I are on the same page and we are not going to be thinking completely opposite to each other and we are completely different by 180 degrees or 360 degrees. I think we can use our emojis. You can say yes, you can raise your hand. I will be very happy to see the hands raising if you all agree with me. Curriculum definitely is not an aggregation. It is something more. If you agree, please raise your hand. I wish to see the hands raised on the screen, which I am having from my own desktop. अरे किसी का hands जा रहा नहीं है? हाँ, Arjun, you have led it. Very good, very good. I want everybody to do it. Come on, come on. Please wake up and be active. Make me comfortable that I am not going to be different from you all. Come on, my dear. Dr. Gote, Dr. Mahendra, please, please. Yeah. That's it. Very, very nice. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. That goes to the next thing that I'm going to have. As faculty members of college and affiliated or autonomous institutions, do you feel that curriculum delivery mechanism may enhance the knowledge transformation better? I want you to just see this word, curriculum delivery mechanism, because that is going to have a very important scope in our strategy formulation and development. People saying yes, Arjun, I'm going to give you one small job. You have to now watch how many people are raising hands and you have to report to me after the slide change takes place. Quickly, everybody should raise the hand and you have to tell me how many hands went up. If they say no, then we will abort this mission right now and say bye-bye. Vote of thanks में चला जाएंगे. बराबर है? If they say yes, there is a meaning for making our session to continue. If I say that curriculum enrichment is possible from each one of us on a daily basis, how many of you would agree with me? Now, I think instead of hand raising, you can just unmute for a while and say a big yes. That will take me to the next slide. Can I hear a big yes from all of you?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
That's the spirit. Thank you very much. And let's have the next. Introspection. इधर आपको marks देने वाली हूँ मैं. सबको who is going to get 100 on 100? We will see. Do I prepare a teaching learning plan for the topics I teach? If you say yes, you give yourself 10 marks.
Yes.
If yes, do I prepare it every year? Then you can give 10 marks.
Madam.
Do I include any innovative teaching methodology when I prepare the TLP? If it is yes, you can give 20 marks. Arey, my dear friends, what is the title I have given? Introspection. ठीक है? Introspection मतलब अपने आप प्रश्न विचारायचं आणि खरं उत्तर आम्हाला द्यायची आणि कोणाला दुसऱ्याला शेअर करायचं नाहीये. आम्ही आमचं मालूम आहे, मला माहिती आहे मी काय करते म्हणून. तो मार्क आम्ही ठरवणार आणि मार्क तुम्ही ठरवणार. हा ऐकून पुढे जावा आपण. कळलं का? How often I go beyond the stipulated syllabi when I teach in the class? Almost every lecture, you give 20 marks for you. Occasionally, give 10 marks. Never I go out of syllabus. You can give yourself 0 marks. I don't believe in teaching. I want my students to learn. If you agree, you can give yourself 10 marks. I repeat, I don't believe in teaching. I want my students to learn. If you agree, give yourself 10 marks. I prefer to replace the word learners instead of calling them as students. If you agree with my statement, you can give another 10 marks to you. So in this slide, all things if you have yes, you would have earned a score of 80 marks. How many of you got 80? I am not going to ask 100%. I am not going to ask this question because it is introspection and you are going to give marks for yourself so that if there is going to be less than 50, less than 60, less than 70, if you are going to get 100 on 100, our session is going to be enjoyable to us. We are going to have some real takeaway and we are going to strive to score 100 on 100 if this introspection slide is going to be shared with you and you are going to do it personally to check about yourself related to curriculum enrichment. Now, this is going to be some of the strategies that I am going to speak on. The atmosphere in the classroom should enable multi-dimensional learning such as, if you all agree with the 10 points that I have given you, atmosphere in the classroom should enable peer-to-peer learning, individual to group learning, group to group learning, interdisciplinary learning, collaborative teaching, academic discussion with skill development, human development, team spirit, experiential learning, and fearlessness. In the classroom, are we going to create an ambience of fearlessness? Are we creating an ambience of experiential learning? Are we creating the spirit of team spirit? Are we making our students human so that they empathize, they learn, they share, they give, they take, and they do everything willingly without any coercion? If at all you have got an agreement with me, easy 20 marks आपको मैं दे देती हूँ. पहला 80 मार्क आपने अर्न किया असेल, 80 प्लस 20 100% तुम्हाला मिळालं म्हणजे we are ready to take up the exercise of curriculum enrichment because it means a lot to us teachers of the current generation. In the introduction, Mr. Arjun told affiliated college असुदे, autonomous college असुदे, old college असुदे, नवीन college असुदे, higher education institution का age प्रमाणे आम्ही जाऊन नये. Let us understand what is this curriculum enrichment. Is it going to be something which is going to be taught over only by an autonomous college because they have the liberty to alter the syllabus or formulate the syllabus, have got freedom to frame the syllabus? Affiliated college to the university, Punya Shloka Ahilya Devi University के जो लोग वो बोलते हैं वही हमको फॉलो करने का है, इधर का उधर जाएगा तो हमने को प्रॉब्लम होने वाले, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। आपका कॉलेज में बी 1 year old, आपका कॉलेज में बी 10 year old, it may be an affiliated college, it may be a private college, it may be a government college, it may be an autonomous institution. Everyone should have some role when it comes to curriculum enrichment. It includes every aspect which contributes towards, my dear friends, I am talking about better learning environment. It is just not syllabus revision, nor it is just adding topics to the existing framework, nor is it deleting something thinking that it is outdated. It is just making the learning environment better. It is just not the topics that is listed on paper, but it goes beyond about the delivery of those topics in such a way that our learners are going to become strong in terms of the curriculum exchange that we are going to organize in our very classroom. We need to enrich curriculum. Why is it needed? To keep the teaching learning properly towards the basic objectives of education. My dear friends, always we think in privacy within ourselves, sometimes or many times, lament it in our staff room when like-minded professors sit over a cup of tea. And we always say, "Arey, kya karte hain hum? What are we doing? Are we educating our children? Or are we just passing out the subject knowledge? Are we making them do the mathematics of 1 plus 1 is equal to 2? Or are we going to teach them how you have to be calculative when you are going to speak your words, when you are going to tell and share your thoughts? Calculation, is it based on mathematics or is it something more of a philosophy? How you are going to be mathematical and calculative when you are going to share your thoughts, give your time, give your energy, share your products? Education is something which we are all responsible for. Believe me, my dear faculty members, my dear colleagues sitting over here, we just cannot shake up from the responsibility of providing education to the wards who come to our college campus. We just cannot say, "Mera syllabus complete ho gaya, I have educated." No way. Education is not the degree that we give them. It is not the certificate that they are going to carry. It is not the name of the college which is going to be printed on the certificate or the university's name. It is going to be the person who has to walk out of the campus and he or she must be educated. And the paper, the thin paper that the child carries, may be a testimonial of what kind of degree. Is it BSc, BCom, BA, or BMS, or BBA? But the person is whom we are responsible to. When they walk out of our institution, we want them to be educated. Education goes beyond, well beyond the piece of paper that they are going to carry, and curriculum enrichment is just what it means is to make the child completely educated. And please believe me, which is going to be an opportunity for all of us sitting over here, this word education, which I have included in this slide, you can see me drawing this, has got lot of possibilities for us to have interpretation. You can make a very huge definition of the word education: attitude building, fearless thinking, without shy sharing the attitude, no complex whatsoever, no inferiority, no discrimination, No kind of inhibitions, apprehensions. अरे मैं ये पूछेगा तो टीचर क्या बोलेंगे, वो apprehension होता है. मैं ऐसा डाउट पूछेगा तो मेरा फ्रेंड क्या सोचेगा मेरा बारे में, फियर होता है, शाई होता है. When you are going to lead your children out of your college campus, my dear friends, I want you to have this education given all prominence. Now, what is it? I think we go to the next slide. Is there any kind of doubt that so far, or if all of you on the same page like I am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Now I have got to one particular slide, which is again for your thinking. I remind you of my opening remark. Please don't think I am going to speak something out of the world new to you all. It's going to be our own thought process, which I have visualized, I have put it over here. Changing landscape of higher education environment in India. So sometimes, as I told you, what, why and how, ये why में ये सब आता है. Whether you want it or you don't want it, it has come to a particular stage that the landscape of our you can see
Yes,
the
ma'am.
landscape of our higher education environment in India. Can anyone take 1 minute to tell the rest of the audience about their view of the changing landscape in the higher education environment in India?
It is changing from rote learning to all-sided development of the students in many institutions.
Okay, very good. Thank you. See, when you are going to talk about this landscape, what sir has rightly pointed out, there is a change in the mindset. That is what sir wanted to hint. Am I right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
Maybe I will go a little bit further to add few more points to what he has said. The landscape of higher education environment is changing in terms of demography, in terms of psychography, in terms of expectations, in terms of number. When I say demography, you can find out the number of colleges increasing, enrollment increasing, but the clusters are getting formed. There are some colleges where the enrollment is very high. There are some colleges the enrollment is not picking up. There are some institutions which is much demanded. There are some institutions which is not that much in the race for getting enrolled. And higher education is undergoing some more issues and problem, like what you are seeing, affiliation is taking place, autonomy is taking place, NAC is becoming almost compulsory, NAC grading is going to have an indicator for some funding. There are so much of differences that are taking place in the higher education environment in India. As sir rightly point out, it's not only the college mindset is changing, there is a change in the psychology and the psychographic environment of most of the learners also, and the students who enroll in college education also. The topic related to co-education colleges, the topic related to the segregation of the faculty, all of them, and seeming reducing the gap between the faculty differentiation, are all going to be examples of changing landscape in the higher education environment in India. If we take this as a situation, we need to think about strategies. When I am going to be a micro unit as an autonomous or an affiliated college, I have to definitely modify my methods so that I have to face the landscape or the changing higher education environment in India. Probably I will be touching upon one important change that recently has been announced, which is going to be relevant to this point number 1 when I am going to discuss about the strategies sometime down the line. The organic objectives. We see Sangameshwar College still being a popular college, survived the onslaught of new colleges that might have being set up in and around the city for more than 65, 68 years, maybe celebrating 70 years from 2 years from now. What is this going to be pushing the Sangameshwar College? They have survived. They have grown a little bit. They should expand. How much they have expanded, I don't have any clue. Probably that is going to be a strategy that we need to think about when we are going to talk about curriculum enrichment. And why curriculum enrichment? Because we just cannot depend only on the support by the government, only on the support by the patrons and the well-wishers and philanthropic trust. The institution now has to stay, grow, and get popularity, which is going to be the reason why the curriculum is going to be a backbone and is going to be a catalyst to bring in all these organic objectives of a singular higher education institution. First was a broad environmental aspect. Second is a micro level concept of individual institution. Third, the dynamics of learners and learning environment is the reason why curriculum enrichment is going to be thought about not only by Sangameshwar College, but many other colleges and institutions in their own staff common room meetings. They have started thinking about understanding the curriculum enrichment because the learners and the learning environment has changed. It is just not because of COVID-19 alone. I will definitely say COVID-19 pandemic has brought in a sea change in the learning environment, but the learning environment and the learner's outlook has started changing more than 7 to 8 years, even 10 years ago. Reducing the levels of knowledge gap and technology gap. One more reason for going for curriculum enrichment. Today, the knowledge gap between you and our child, you, if you have got a very young parent, you and your own son or daughter, the knowledge gap is very high. In certain aspects, they have better knowledge than us. Technology, use of technology between you, me, a wrong side of 50 and 60, and a person right side of 20 and 30, the gap is going to be definitely more. But between them, an American student of 25 years of age, an African student of 25 years of age, and a student from South Asia, the same age group, the technology gap and the knowledge gap is no more exists as it used to exist around 30 years back or 40 years back. When myself and the senior members of the faculty sitting in this platform, imagine our college days and our school days, probably the technology gap between us and our counterparts in US or UK, that would have been a North Pole and South Pole. Today, the knowledge gap and technology gap across the globe has narrowed down at a particular age group or a particular kind of a demographic criterion like gender, occupation, etc. And this is going to be definitely pushing we, the faculty, to think about how do we enrich the curriculum. Of course, last but not the least, we are going to talk about the knowledge explosion, which is going to be required for, which is going to be pushing for curriculum enrichment. Now we are going to go, my second part of the presentation is done with. My presentation about strategies is going to be revolving around these situations which I have identified, which has pushed towards the curriculum enrichment as an option. And we are going to consider situation one by one and what kind of strategies that we need to adopt so that you can think about further and make the strategies which is going to be relevant to your own individual institution and your own educational, higher educational institution at a micro level. First one is changing landscape of higher education environment in India. I have given 4 points over there, which I have already discussed. And the third point is the one which I was talking about to you, the recent change in the national education policy. Yes, there is a debate when it is going to be implemented. I am not concerned about it, nor you are concerned about it. But what is included in the national education policy is definitely a matter of thought-provoking nature, and we, the faculty members, have to think about it. Probably, the universities and colleges are unhealthy competition. Today, there is no competition that is taking place between Pepsi and Coca-Cola. We think that competition is with only products, consumer products, fast-moving consumer products. We were thinking that there is no competition between hospitals, there is no competition between universities, there is no competition between colleges. My dear colleagues sitting over here, if you are under that impression, please try to change. There is going to be competition somewhere around the corner. It should not be an unhealthy competition. Why I am saying your curriculum enrichment should not be confused with the kind of a easy passing of the students, so that I am happy to enroll in XYZ college, because if I engage them there, there is going to be 40 marks internal, 60 marks external, and 40 का ऊपर 40 मुझे मिलेगा, and 60 में मेरे को 24 मिलना मुश्किल नहीं है, मैं पास हो जाऊंगा और पास हो जाऊंगी, is what is to be an antithesis for our curricular enrichment strategy. If you are going to talk about unhealthy competition, these are the things that comes to our mind. When you talk about the peer-to-peer learning as a strategy, when you are going to talk about learning environment as a strategy, you must create an environment so that there is no unhealthy competition. 40 का ऊपर 40 बच्चे लेके आएंगे, आपको ऐसा ध्यान देने का जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगा. And once बच्चे realize करते हैं that मैं काम किया, मुझे 40 मार्क मिला, that is what is the real education that you are going to bring in. Now, for all the 4 factors that I have identified about the changing landscape of higher education environment in India, I do not know the target audience, whether you are all from humanities or science or commerce, which faculty you all belong to, I may not be able to have knowledge. Since I belong to the faculty of commerce, allow me to take one example of curriculum enrichment strategy with reference to the changing landscape, which I have pointed out here on this particular slide. For example, if I want to teach a concept of division of labor, if I want to teach a concept of stock market and stock market regulation, I can give lot of essays and notes and make them understand about how the division of labor is to be properly done, understanding the grouping of functions and taking into account the quality and skill of the various groups to whom the particular activity is going to be assigned. You can have an activity organized in the classroom. Create a forum or create an association. You create a leadership grid in your own classroom and make a kind of a pyramid where you are going to have a lower level managers, middle level managers, and top level manager, and give that exercise that you are going to be the group of management personnel of ABC and company. I am taking ABC. You give some fancy name. You can talk about Grow Well Company, Sleep Well Company, Talk Well Company, Do Well Company. You can give a fancy which you ask them to do. Submit that this is going to be my company, and if I want to do division of labor, this is what I am going to do it. Role play, drama, if you are going to bring them, believe me, it enriches the concept so well and they understand. Instead of you dictating the notes or asking them to refer to the notes that are going to be printed in reference book, or make them write an assignment which is going to be downloaded, copied and pasted. Divide the class. Have 5 companies if your classroom is going to be takeout. That takes you to the first. Classroom becoming larger. Number of people enrolling in collegiate education is becoming more. Government is telling एक class में आप 120 बिठाओ problem नहीं है. And we always complain in the staff room, अरे इतना बच्चे हैं मैं कैसा पढ़ाऊंगी. आपको पढ़ाने का जरूरत नहीं है. That is the curriculum enrichment strategy number 1. Stop teaching. आप प्रिपेयर करना छोड़ दो, नोट्स बनाना छोड़ दो, नोट्स डिक्टेट करना छोड़ दो. आप जाओ क्लास में बच्चे को बोल दो ये सब आपको करना है. Translate the theory into some probably presentable practical exercise. Give them, assign them, rubrics दे दो. आप एक करेगा तो आपको इतना मार्क्स मिलेगा. आप बात करेंगे तो आपको 2 मार्क मिलेगा. आप सुनेंगे तो आपको 1 मार्क मिलेगा. आप ऐसा कॉन्सेप्ट को बाकी को क्वेश्चन करेंगे 10 मार्क मिलेगा. You have to understand the concept of questioning and answering by making the interdependent class group argue, discuss on your division of labor. And on the basis of stock market regulations, you will be able to give them amazingly experiential learning. And that is what the strategy I will say as number 1 strategy. Stop teaching and make children do and make them learn from what they do. National education policy may make it compulsory. But I don't think autonomous colleges, unaffiliated colleges or higher educational institution or teachers like you all sitting over here should wait for somebody to tell that ye karo aap, then only it is going to be better. Please don't wait for somebody to tell you, compel you, which is going to be a burden on us. Strategy, we plan, we formulate. I gave a simple example about division of labor and stock market rules and regulation. 1000 examples I can give you, which is going to make the children learn. So many companies have got their website. If you are going to talk about shareholding pattern, yesterday there was a huge discussion about the shareholding pattern of the ICRC, that is the company, reservation company of Indian Railways. If you are going to ask them, अरे मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर्स का लॉ से वेबसाइट पे जाओ, आप उधर क्या देख रहे हो, just list it and how you can improve the website, what is lacking in that website. You make them write a report. It is individual, they cannot copy from anybody else, and share it in the class. आपका teaching का कुछ नहीं है, but the children learn on their own. Curriculum enrichment of this particular topic that is included in the syllabus of BBA, BMS, BCom can be very easily enriched, not by adding more and more another 100 pages of notes. No way. जो है वो है, लेकिन उसको हम कैसा handle करेंगे, that is going to be making a lot of difference. Maybe I will take one step further if there is going to be a botany or a science related student sitting over here. How we can curriculum enrichment, usko kaisa kara jaye? Madam, already we are going to have practicals. With due respect to the science teachers, your practicals are going to be totally based on theory and is outdated. Usko field mein karne ke liye bolo. If you are going to talk about pollution, ask them to list the pollution index of so many cities. Find out what is going to be the reason of the dropping pollution index in some cities and increasing pollution index on some other cities. And my dear teachers and faculty members, all of them are available. I told you, knowledge explosion, information explosion is taking place. Your curriculum enrichment must be making the syllabi more result oriented, more learning oriented. That is where the parinam आप लेके आएंगे, not by adding or subtracting topics that are going to be given by the university to which we are affiliated, and with the fear that ये करेगा तो वो क्या बोलेगा, ये पढ़ाएगा तो my senior teachers will question me. No hassles. Remember, you see your wards, your students, one generation is in front of you. Make them more able. make them understand more. And when you are going to make them understand, you are going to be out of unhealthy competition, and your college is going to be much sought out institution, and your enrollment is not going to suffer at all. When I talk about demographic factors, I already told you that it is going to be related to the number, and number definitely poses lot of difficulties. But when you are going to be considering your own students, and every topic that you have included in your syllabus is going to be made into a curriculum delivery mechanism, that is where you are going to win, and that is where your enrichment begins and ends automatically. As I told you, your curriculum enrichment strategies depends upon the universities abroad, universities nearby you, colleges nearby you, your learning spirit of the students, other kind of facilities that are available to you. What one can do in metropolitan city, you may not be able to do in your rural counterpart. But all of us can use technology similarly, and visiting the website, taking some interview on phone, getting email related research collection of information, and through Google form, etc., has become a very normal kind of a way of conducting our curriculum delivery. And that is what is going to help you in enriching your curriculum. I think I have impliedly answered the questions that is there in your mind. Your curriculum is different from syllabus. Syllabus is going to be the list of topic. Curriculum is how you are going to strengthen it, how you are going to present it, how you are going to paste it, how you are going to paint it, how you are going to make it more attractive, so that it is just not the syllabi which is going to be a skeleton. It becomes with flesh and bone, and a beautiful skin wraps the skeleton around, so that the person or the generation is going to become an able and understanding students from the perspective. That is going to take us to the next kind of a organic objectives of survival, growth, and expansion. As I told you, NEP and related developments has really challenged the survival. Aapka curricular enrichment has to be definitely based on skill orientation. Writing was the only skill we were developing so far. Maybe due to COVID period, we have given a skill of presentation. But we are still to imbibe the skills related to communication, personality development, team spirit, talking to each other, convincing skill, debating skill. All these skills requires to be imbibed in our student community. Every syllabi gives room for all these things. For example, if you are going to be talking about plant related studies, animal related studies, whether it is botany or zoology, chemistry, physics, or history, or something related to physiology and psychology. Every subject has got so many things that need to be debated, need to be exchanged in terms of view, opinions. What we want to do is organic growth of vertical and horizontal. Vertical, you are going to add more courses, applied courses, which is going to be supporting the existing syllabi and curriculum development. Horizontally, you can definitely develop the various other kinds of technical aspects that comes along with your co-curricular activities, but make a kind of blend between your academic curriculum, co-curriculum, and extracurriculum. Make a wonderful blend of all the three. That is what you have to do when you are going to achieve the objective of curriculum enrichment to survive, grow, and expand in the new NEP environment. There are so many foreign universities coming into India right now. I think the principal will vouch for it with me. All are interested in coming to India for tie-up, for collaboration. आप dual degree देते हैं, आपका कॉलेज में 1 साल पड़ेगा, हमारा में 2 साल. We'll give some kind of a global citizenship, which is one of the very important excellence parameter that is given by NAC. How do we get the global citizenship? Is nothing but making our children excel in the presentation. एक ही लाइन है, वो एक लाइन कितना ब्रीफ में पता चलता है. How are you going to cut short and trim the extra words that you are going to pressy writing? Business communication, which is the subject all the children thinks they have mastered, is going to be the subject curriculum which has to be properly delivered, in my opinion. English teachers at all levels, whether it is going to be first year undergraduate level or second year undergraduate level, need to understand that it is just not passing the pressy writing, but to understand the mechanism behind the pressy writing. You give the annual report of a company and ask them to write what it is. Let them speak in one single word what the director means and wants to do in the company. Let the principal speech at the annual day can be abridged by the student so that they understand what is the essence of it and how we are going to present it. Global citizenship, which is another reason for curriculum enrichment, is possible by imparting the skill related to presentation that is possible when you are going to enable them to present their ideas to the rest of the class, rest of the college. Have more forums, more group activities, which is going to be the only way that interpersonal skills can be nurtured and developed. Curriculum enrichment calls for it. It is just not adding the subjects, as I have been telling again and again. It is how the delivery is going to take place. And in the delivery mechanism, if we are going to think that we, the teachers, are going to be the delivery boys and girls, and the students are going to be our clients and customers, please reverse the role. We are not deliverables. We are going to be enablers. The curriculum enrichment strategy, therefore, requires a complete mental revolution from our part, including the administrators, the principals, the heads of the department must definitely take this change in their mindset, because many times I have seen the young faculty members would go out of the syllabus. They may ask, dramatize certain things. They would like to do some role play in their classroom. They would like to complete the syllabi through group discussions. They may try to make the presentations possible as a tool of understanding the concept, and the senior HOD or the principal may be thinking, अरे ये सब क्या time pass है, आपको prepare करने के लिए time नहीं है, इसलिए आप बच्चे को ऊपर छोड़ देते हैं. ये mental revolution is what is needed highly when we are going to plan our curriculum enrichment strategies. Liberation and freedom given to the teachers when they are going to prepare their teaching learning plan. And in that teaching learning plan, it should not be the same thing. Copy paste होना नहीं चाहिए. Notes दिया, ये दिया नहीं. Film दिया, film appreciation कर दिया. Related matters of documentary are being shown, and students are asked to write a report on the documentary related to the pollution control mechanism. Students were asked to prepare and watch the film. Even I always encourage films like Lagan, film like, I think you all may be doing as an autonomous college, otherwise nobody would give you the status of autonomous status to Sangameshwar College. But maybe we will be doing it a very, very miniature way. We must make it as a larger endeavor, and it can touch the science stream. Most of the humanities, it is very easy, that is what people think. But according to me, the science stream is going to be more amenable to all these kind of videos and other kinds of films, documentaries, which is related to our syllabus. Show them and what is team spirit and what is the exact thing that curriculum enrichment is going to touch upon is teaching, learning and evaluation. In the degree of 1, 2, 3, teaching at least 10% I would like to keep. Learning is going to be 70% and evaluation the rest. And evaluation, if you are going to give it on the basis of the group discussion, एक ग्रुप डिस्कशन हो गया, जो ऑडियंस है उसको बोलने का है, आप बराबर क्वेश्चंस फ्रेम करो on the basis of the group discussion that just took place. Make the questionnaire, answer them. So this is going to be completing that particular topic that is given in the syllabus, but you have developed the curriculum, and your curriculum vitae of your students is going to become better when they are going to mention in a very strong way, powerful way, that they can talk and present anything in front of the managing director when they are going to be given a job in a multinational company. Reducing levels of knowledge gap and technology gap. How are we going to strategize it? I think it will be a kind of a repetition. If I'm going to speak about your Teams platform, your Zoom platform, your Google platform, how you have been managing the technology and connectivity, I think strategies are going to be impossible to be implemented related to curriculum enrichment if we don't embrace on technology and information and communication tools and technology. This slide is going to be a supportive mechanism for curriculum enrichment, because curriculum enrichment definitely can happen without these. As I told you, role play, street play, presentation, drama, debates, documentation, everything can be possible. But when it is going to be supported by this technology initiative, it is going to make a lot of difference, and enrichment is going to bring more confidence, because without ICT, without comfort level with technology, our students may not be able to compete in the market for job or the market for higher studies in foreign universities or any other place. I have come to the last part of my presentation. Curriculum enrichment is no more a choice. It is not a NAC requirement. It is not an ancillary activity. It is a part of our organism, and we have to embrace it. Sorry for the spelling mistake there. I will correct it right away. We have to embrace it. That is what is going to be the last word which I would like to speak. Strategies, we have to identify. Learning environment, we have to identify. No Shobana Vasudevan, no Shobha Rajmaye can tell you. We, the faculty, should understand what is going to be the environment and how I am going to embrace it, how I am going to embed with the technology, how I am going to make it presentable, how I am going to motivate my students. For that, I have to come out of that jacket of syllabi completion. I must come out of the jacket of the semester end exam. I must come out of the jacket of evaluating as one-time exam. And if, as a faculty member, if I am prepared to undergo this mind-boggling change in my mindset, you are ready for your curriculum enrichment. It is nothing but the delivery. It is nothing but understanding your learners. It is nothing but creating a learning environment. It is nothing but stop teaching and enable learning. If you want me to say in single word, what is curriculum enrichment? It is nothing but allowing the learners learn at their own pace, allowing the learners to learn from the peer, allowing the learners to learn between themselves, and allowing the learners from the open sources that are available. You may ask me, madam, अपना क्या काम है? Salary तो हम लेते हैं, लाखों का salary मिलता है. You are going to be the facilitator. You have to understand what kind of learning environment is needed for this topic, what kind of learning environment is required for another topic, and bring variety. For that is the salary that is given to you. You have to start thinking not of completing that 48 minutes of lecture, but making every minute of the lecture remembered by our students. Enrichment means making our children walk out with educated mind and not with the degree certificate given by our university. With this, I conclude my session. I may be allowed, if the organizers allow, we can take 1 or 2 questions. Otherwise, over to you, Mr. Arjun. Thank you very much.
अर्जुन सर आवाज येत नाही.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Mata is, yes, yes. It was an enlightening session, ma'am. I am convinced that Purohit ma'am cannot go wrong in selecting a resource person. Definitely. It was nice. Now the platform is open for discussion. If anybody is having any question, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
I have a comment on you. You in the beginning said you are not going to say anything new,
Yes, yes.
but it is everything was new.
No, sir, you know, you are so
Secondly-
very large-minded to say that. But okay, thank you. But
Yeah, ma'am. Initially, you told there is this millennial learners want now proximity, teacher-student proximity. You concentrated. Here exactly lies the crux, I think.
yes, sir.
How to what can be done from the teacher side to develop that proximity or rapport with the students?
Yeah, it's a very important question. As I told you at the beginning, sir, many times it is situational, emotional, and personality also matters. You know, as I told you, the fearlessness is what is to be encouraged. There is two types of gap that we find between the teacher and the student. One, student afraid of the teacher. Of course, that is getting reduced nowadays. Teachers are going to be afraid of students. That is what is happening. In this context, can I narrate a small story to you all? If you are all in a mood to listen to a story.
Surely, man, surely.
It's a very simple anecdote sort of it. There is a situation, you all imagine that I am sitting in my principal's room and my door is locked and there are two students and parents sitting in my room. बाहर जो रहता है ना, जो वो somebody is there, no, outside principal room में उसका clerk रहता है, PA रहता है, सब लोग रहते हैं, some students, parents, everybody is waiting. ये बच्चा अंदर गया है, वो parent भी ये बुलाया है principal ने, अंदर कुछ तो चल रहा है. This situation, if it happened around 25 years back, बाहर जो onlookers है वो बोलते थे अरे ये बच्चा को principal ने बुलाया, parent को भी बुलाया, जरूर ये बच्चे कुछ trouble में है. The child is in trouble. That is what the comment they would have made 25 years back. Imagine today in the year 2021 if it happens that there is a parent and the child is there inside the principal room, बाहर सब लोग बैठे हैं, अरे ये गया है parent और child, जरूर principal में trouble में है. The principal is in trouble. That is what the change that has taken place over a period of time because of various situations. Better not we discuss about it. I come back to your question on how to stay connected with the students. It's the skill that we have to develop, my dear sir. Our proximity, approachability, our knowledge strength, and our acceptance of lack of knowledge. Sometimes we may not know certain things. अरे तू पूछ रहे अच्छा है रे, अभी तो find out करेंगे. Let's sit before the what to say our website. Find out करेंगे, बहुत अच्छा question है. See, this kind of our admission of our own ignorance, which is not very rare nowadays because of the age that we possess, makes things change between the children and the teacher, is my view.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
If anybody is having any question, you can ask.
See, either the silence is because madam to bus ho gaya, humko chhod do. Second, we have understood everything what madam has said. So I prefer that the second alternative
Second
is the
option, yes.
Okay. Chalo, madam, principal madam.
Ma'am, personally, I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
You discussed regarding fearlessness.
Yeah.
In your first part.
Yeah.
It is a well-established fact that government plays an important role in the overall progress of higher education.
Yeah.
There are instances where we send repeated notices regarding regular attendance of students.
Yeah.
We even further mention that it will impact your academic performance.
Mm.
But students are least interested and sometimes even ignore the notices.
Yeah.
So my question is, when government has taken or shown leniency regarding attendance, what can be done to improve it?
See, again, it is a very tough kind of a situation, my dear Arjun. Personally, physical attendance in a classroom is something which we have to rethink nowadays in the given environment. Barabar hai na? And sticking to the rules to the T. I think our principal and your head of the department should have some kind of via media that how the attendance can be counted. For example, if you are going to have an expert lecture, okay, so attendance in that expert lecture can be given attendance. See, आपका lecture में बैठा है वही attendance करके हम start करेंगे, थोड़ा problem हो जाता है आजकल because बच्चे का listening capacity is very less. Our lecture timing is 48. उसका listening span is not more than 25 to 30 minutes. इसलिए मैं बोल रही ना उसको लेक्चर ही नहीं देने का, उसको ही काम करने के लिए देने का है. वो आएगा तो उसको रोल पे होएगा नहीं ना. आज का दिन ड्रामा करने का है तुझे पैकेजिंग का ऊपर. ओके, बिकॉज आई एम गिविंग एग्जांपल बिकॉज आई हैव गॉट अ कॉमर्स बैकग्राउंड. बराबर है ना. आप एक डिजाइन करने का है तो ये आपका काम है. ये रोल आपको प्ले करने का. यू आर अ गवर्नमेंट पर्सन, यू आर गोइंग टू बी अ ऑफिसर और इंचार्ज एंड यू आर गोइंग टू बी अ कस्टमर. ऐसा आप असाइन करेंगे ये ड्रामा. ये दे हैव टू कम नो ऑन द स्टिपुलेटेड डेट.
Yes, correct.
So accordingly, now when you say that I am going to give a lecture, you please attend. That is the gap I was talking about in my earlier slide.
Yeah.
There is a gap. Nobody wants to listen to anybody. You know that.
Yeah,
आपको भी तो better. I don't know who compelled you to listen to me. You are listening to me. Otherwise, given the choice, that we won't listen to anybody, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. If
So
anybody
we
is
have
having
to.
any question,
We have to bring a massive change in our outlook in conducting a class in a classroom. Massive. It's not a simple change. मैं बोल रही हूँ teaching छोड़ देने का है हम.
yes.
We should not start teaching because सिखाएगा वो तो roadside language है मेरा ख्याल से. अरे आजा तू तेरे को सिखाएगा. सिखाने का है नहीं है. बराबर है. Give
Yes,
them
sir.
to learn.
Okay.
You try it, no, it will work. It has worked. It will work. And that will enrich them and it will become a percolation effect.
Okay.
ये
Yes,
साल
yes.
आपने किया, next year you will, of course nothing is going to have like a quick portion. No, it is not like a
Yes,
crocin
yes.
आपने ले लिया सिर दर्द कम हो गया, ऐसा नहीं है. It is
Very
going to be a kind of a exercise, you know. It
Very-
takes
yes, very
time.
true.
We
Yes,
have
yes.
to give that time, but you
Okay.
will get the result, that is for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
When your mindset changes. आपका ये है ना that गुदगुली ना अपना रे बच्चे नहीं आता है मेरा लेक्चर में, you feel bad, वो सब चला जाएगा ना. वो अपने को कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा ना.
Okay.
पहला we have to become strong. बराबर है कि नहीं?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
You mentioned about vertical and horizontal.
Yeah.
We want to know one example from your institution. What exactly horizontal thing any innovative teacher has done?
See, horizontal, if you are going to talk about this collaborative teaching, we can do. See, for example, if you are going to have a collaborative teaching of two teachers taking the same subject, that is one way you can do. Horizontally, you can introduce some courses within your program of related to that particular thing. For example, if you are going to a BBA program of सोचो, first year level में एक particular course है, बराबर है ना? वो related एक credit course आप करेंगे, that is going to be horizontal. For
Okay.
example, BBA में first semester में अपने पास एक course है, let us imagine mathematics and statistics. Okay, एक related course आप करेंगे that how to design index numbers or what are the uses of index numbers. ऐसा आप छोटा सा एक course बनाए एक credit का 15 hours का कुछ तो. That becomes a horizontal kind of a course which is going to be giving you a leverage for the earlier course that the child has taken. that is this merges with it. Vertical में क्या होता है थोड़ा अलग से लेंगे आप. For example, if you are going to talk about in commerce, BBA का ही मैं बात कर रही हूँ, आपका what to say business communication बराबर है ना, एक पेपर रहता है. So radio jockey क्या बनना है? How are you going to become a radio jockey? Or how are you going to be a television announcer? ऐसा आपका एक कोर्स आप कंडक्ट करेंगे, आप समझो. That is vertical.
Thank you.
Have I answered your question?
Absolutely correct.
Correct, it is absolutely correct.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
correct.
Okay. I think there are no questions.
Yeah, we can wind up. That means.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Dr. Shobana ma'am, it was indeed a productive and very fruitful session. You rightly mentioned that curriculum is the essential ingredient of any education system, regardless of all education levels, and all other aspects, whether teaching, learning, and evaluation, or research and development, infrastructure and learning resources, student activities, and the other support system, it revolves around it. So everything revolves around curriculum, and therefore curriculum aspects and the best practices connected to curriculum aspects, they play a very important role of quality of higher education, since curriculum has a decisive role in steering the other elements of quality. Reviewing and updating of the curriculum is no doubt essential ingredient of any vibrant academic system. Higher education definitely contributes to the promotion of the development of abilities and skill sets like cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains. So, in my personal opinion, curriculum enrichment is very important because it basically contributes to the promotion of civic behavior, nation building, through the transmission of democratic values and cultural norms. And also this supports the formation and strengthening of social capital. So once again, it was extremely a wonderful session, ma'am. Thank you very much. Now I request our principal, Dr. Rajmana madam, for a presidential remark. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, everybody. Madam, really it was very wonderful and excellent session. Jyoti Kadadi madam, Director of Computer and Management, all participants of various institutions. I thank all for participating in such a wonderful session. Institutional quality needs a proper planning and execution. Madam, you have shared the expertise which will be very useful in right outcomes. I think this enrichment will bring greater ranking in the institutional accreditation. Institution fulfilling these things will definitely win the learner's heart and better feedbacks and satisfactory student survey. Understanding the difference between curriculum and syllabus will definitely improve the teacher and institutional image. Madam, your presentation was very systematic. You have given expected outcomes before starting your talk. That was very effective, madam. We have to design and formulate the curriculum with the use of environment, situation, need of present issue, and considering many other aspects. Curriculum is a knowledge which helps students to become completely educated. Education is not getting more degree, but mere degree, but overall development. The institution should take efforts to give full learning experience. You have given a real life situation example of division of labor, which enriches the knowledge of their own. So the curriculum should be activity based syllabus, I can say. So these are the strategies you have told to enrich the syllabus. For science, particularly applied or application based practicals will be the strategies to enrich the syllabus of science. Syllabus is the list of topics, but curriculum is how you change present generation, which is our responsibility to a human being, cope up with environment, experimental, and many more. So as students are our responsibility to make them enrich, our syllabus should be enriched. How should be the teaching plan? You have explained about it. Curriculum enrichment is not only for NAC requirement, but it is a part of organism. It loving the learners to learn themselves. Madam, this is a great guidance you have given to our teachers and participants. I am grateful to you and always require your guidance in future also. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. With the chair's permission, I would like to take a moment on behalf of myself to thank the Honorable Management Member Kadadi Madam, respected Dr. Rajmanya Madam Principal, IQAC Coordinator Dr. Desai Sir, and a big thank you to Professor Dr. Purohit Ma'am for providing me this opportunity to be the anchor of this national event. The reason why I am mentioning is that I want to place on record that Sangmeshwar has always provided me with n number of opportunities because success is found where preparation and opportunities meet. So before we move on to the valedictory address, it is a request to all the participants that after the vote of thanks, we are going to have a selfie session wherein you will be requested to turn on your cameras. So get ready for your preferred background. And the program will end with Pasaidan. Now I request the man behind the scene, our IQAC coordinator, Dr. Desai sir, to propose a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Arjun.
Yes.
Actually, without team effort, we cannot perform. This is what we all are showing it here. At the outset, I would like to initially thank our management, Srimati Hemlata Kadadi Madam, the chairperson of SES Society, for giving us constant support. And I would like to thank our Honorable Secretary, Shri Dharmaraj Kadadi Sir, for his constant guiding, being a constant guiding light to us. I would like to thank our management member, Professor Jyoti Kadadi Ma'am, for basically initiating this idea of web series and personally gracing the function by attending the entire program. I would like to thank our principal for her constant support and the vice principals of all the faculty. Now, I would like to thank from bottom of my heart today's resource person, Dr. Professor Shobana Vasudevan Madam. Really, it was a treat to hear from her about the enrichment in curriculum. Basically, I would really thank her to give a new realm of teaching, and instead of becoming a teacher, becoming a facilitator, enabler, the new verbs and adverbs that or adjectives she gave to us in her talk. And really, in her lively talk, really she encouraged us to work in our autonomy, where basically the curriculum, teaching, learning, and evaluation, we are supposed to have the atomicity. So I would like to thank all the participants who have taken out their time, and really I hope they are benefited by our this effort. So I would like to thank finally the anchor and the technical team for their continuous efforts they have taken to make this webinar series a success. Finally, I would thank each and everyone, and a big thank you to organizers too. I now just hand over to Arjun.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Now, may I, with the chair's permission, request all the participants to turn on your cameras just for a minute or so.
You want my camera also turned on?
No, you are already on, ma'am. You are
Of
already.
course,
Okay.
madam.
Yes.
So when are you going to permit me to leave? Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Just
Yeah.
a minute, ma'am. Just a minute.
Okay, okay. मेरा photo ले लो.
Yes, yes. Yes, thank you very much. Over to Bukka, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bukka, sir, you can shut down the session once it's over, okay? Okay, thank you, everyone.